The Global Latin Factor Podcast.
Hey, what's up? This is the Global Latin Factor Podcast. I'm Mia, your host, and with me I have Crispin Valentin.
What up, Mia? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. This is the Global Latin Factor Podcast where we bring you everything there is to know about Latino culture. However, I do want to talk about something because it does hit home. So we have some even within, like, I'm Mexican. I was born in Mexico, right? And I know you're third generation Mexicana. We talked last time. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we just, even within our own people, it's so much weird stuff, you know? Like let's say first generation, a lot of them call them Chicanos, and people see them as stereotype. Our own gente, our own people see them like as lazy and things like that. And I know you experienced some of the same thing. What do you feel you experienced as far as being a third generation Mexicana that technically, well, you're American, you have, you know, your bloodline, your relatives made it from Mexico, but at the same time, you're American, right? You couldn't go to Mexico and just live, you know?
Yeah.
But how do you feel about the fact that some people just treat you indifferent or weird just because, let's say, you don't know the language for whatever reason, for whatever reason your parents had, they didn't teach you, they didn't want to like enforce it or you know, have you talk. How does it make you feel?
I feel judged sometimes. I feel like they're kind of mean to me. Uh-huh. Just because, one, I don't know Spanish.
Right.
Two, I am a little bit more Americanized. Right. So I don't know everything about my culture, but I'm not opposed to learning or like wanting to learn, or it's not like I hate it or like I'm trying to not learn it. What else? I just feel like also just growing up differently.
Right.
That's another reason why being in private school, being around American people, mm-hmm. talking a different way, because I know a little phrases and words in Spanish, but do I say them? No, because I sound funny, right, or different. So it makes me feel insecure, that's for sure.
Have you ever asked your mom or your dad as to why they didn't want to teach you Spanish, or is there a reason that they had? Maybe they want to protect you, or maybe they just wanted you to, because it's second generation, you know. It's really difficult. Even first generation Mexicanos, it's already difficult to already have you learn Spanish. Now move into another generation, it's even harder to maintain the language and the culture. You know, mm-hmm. It's cool to know, but it's hard. It's hard already as it is. Have you ever asked them to see the reason why, or maybe it just didn't seem to be something that you might need?
No, I never asked why. I think it was more of a purpose for like school reasons. Uh-huh. Also because they just wanted me to be raised differently, I guess more Americanized, wanting me to go to a good school and do everything correctly. So
pretty much do better for yourself, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because I don't have any kids, but I think I want my kids to do way better than I did, way beyond the stars. Everything else that I could possibly imagine that they could do, I just want them to go beyond, you know, mm-hmm. not to do better than me. Let's say if I have a regular 9 to 5, hopefully they can be entrepreneurs, or maybe they can just, you know, maybe they have a career that they decide to do so. And I just want them to go beyond the stars. You know what I mean? And it's only right for a parent, even if, and it's crazy to me that as Latinos, as Mexicanos, we within our own culture, we're so weird. And that's why I think the podcast is important, because I don't know a lot of things about Honduran culture, mm-hmm. Salvadorian culture. You know, so I sound kind of racist to just know that all I know about Salvadorians, or a little bit of, is pupusas. You know, yeah. That's like, I feel weird about just this is the only thing that I know about them. You know, mm-hmm. or anybody else, and it makes sense that we don't know, because even within our own first, second, third generations, we already weird about that too. You know, yeah, we're so close and blind about everything else that we have, and we just forget that at the end of the day, like. Take everything apart, all your labels and everything. What are you at the end of the day? You're a human being, right? Yeah. You're a human being, just like everybody else. Raised their own way, however it is. And we just forget about that all the time. We just forget about that. We're going through this journey of life. We're lucky So I was thinking the other day of, you know, how they say there's like the odds of becoming a person or being born.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure there's some kind of statistic, but I really feel there's 7.9 billion people in the world. 7.9 billion. Those are like your odds of you being here, and yet that like you can't even sometimes even imagine a billion, but yet you made it here.
Yeah.
You know, and I made it here.
Have you heard of like we like choose our own parents?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard about that. And I think I needed to have the people that my dad was real strict, real stern, and wanted me to work and you know, be a good person and you know, focus on religion and things like that. And even though I'm not so much into that at the same time, I felt like I needed that structure in my life, because when I went in the military, okay, so when I was in basic training, right? So I'm doing basic training, and they scream at you, they make you do push-ups and everything, and I'm doing push-ups, and it's hard in the beginning, right? But they yelling at you, saying dumb stuff to you, like you ain't nothing, this and that. And I'm like, I don't care. My dad told me worse, and he's supposed to love me. He's my dad. What are y'all gonna do to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything that they said to me was like, whatever, dudes. Yeah, whatever. All right, it's hard right now, but it's okay. But I thought it was funny because, like, I think if I didn't have that backbone, that structure, and that type of discipline that he had, like, I would have broke a lot of times. I might have not even made it through basic training because they make you go through some stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I had to have that type of dad to get me through that, because I don't know. I kind of agree with like what you said before that, but I kind of don't, because like destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times they say we talk about destiny, but at the same time, you can't be about destiny if at the same time you believe that things that you can manifest things into your life, right?
Yeah.
Because if you can manifest things into your life, then you already are able to set that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you're just putting it out into the universe, like.
So that means that you are able to make it. It's not that just so happen to be by destiny that certain things fall into place. You know what I mean?
It's not destiny. I feel like it's more like if you put your mind to something and if you believe in yourself, and then you can achieve anything, like legit anything. If you just believe and like work hard,
right?
It'll end up happening.
Yeah, I mean, just like me, I'm a master, Latino master, 10,000 hours. Just saying. Pretty legit. All right. So I wanted to start before we get to our other Latin factor personality. I wanted to talk to you about a time machine. So I know this is like a little bit into the what we just said, like conspiracy theories. Not really, right? So let's say if there was such thing as a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you want to travel to?
Like anytime? Like
anytime, any place, anything.
Honestly, I would probably go back to like Renaissance time. Like I would, and I would like put the location to like somewhere in Europe.
So there's a few places that I would, if I get a time machine, there were a few places that I would go to. First of all, so all the episodes that we've done before about the Global Latin Factor, there's all these estimated time of when we decided to like make corn or discover corn or cacao or things like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go to the exact time when all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is corn and this is how it came to be. Or this is cacao and this is chocolate, how it came to be. Or the ultimate would be to go at the precise moment that the Big Bang happened.
Big Bang?
You never heard of it?
No.
Big Bang Theory?
Oh, the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, Big Bang Theory.
Like
not.
I was thinking like the show.
No. So you never heard of it?
No.
Okay, so the Big Bang Theory is a theory that at one time there was nothing, but there was a small, real petite, you can barely see it, and out of that, the Big Bang happened and it blew up. I don't know what happened, and all of a sudden everything came to be. Like the universe came to be out of this little bitty.
Oh, you're talking about like the beginning,
the beginning of the universe, the beginning of this universe.
I always think about the universe as like, have you seen that movie like Horn Hears a Who? and like all the who people live like on a little speck.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of little specks out there in the universe. Like, I just think it's so weird.
We are a speck, you know, right?
Yeah, like
if we was to disappear today, like our whole galaxy goes, like
that's it. Like, but
like if there was intelligent beings, they wouldn't have realized that we were gone.
Yeah. Like, do you believe that there's other things out there, like in the universe? Like, how can we be the only people, like the only living things, like on this planet, like, and there's nothing else
even
out
scarier
there?
than that. I'm gonna scare you more. Okay. What if there wasn't? What if we were the only ones? What if we're just lonely little things here?
But we don't know that we're lonely.
Okay, again. But what if they were? Let's say, I believe everything's possible. So let's say that there was. But what if there wasn't? What if we were the only intelligent beings? Imagine how lonely that would be. Yeah. Out of this whole vast of infinite universe, that we're the only little things.
Yeah.
And we're the worst too. We're like a little plague. I'm just saying. Man, I want to love all the human beings, but God, we do some stuff that we just makes you want to question. Like, and if there was a smart, like infinite, like super smart aliens, we're so like not so smart.
We're like the dumbest ones. Yeah. We would not survive. Like in movies, like scary movies, which person would die first? Or like it's always like that one girl that being not so smart.
You know what? I don't like those scary movies because at the end of the day, I just like, why y'all running? Like, grab something, hit them fool, and then they hit them, and they just let him be instead of finishing the job.
They just let him like pass out, and they just run away, and then he just gets up and like chase after them again.
Yeah, I just don't. They don't. Scary movies don't scare me. It's more of a frustration. Like, can you kick him? Can you kick him again? Can you trip him? Can you hit him and keep hitting him till he can't move no more? Like neutralize. No. That is my military mind.
Yeah, that's just you, because I'm a big old chicken.
All right, we're moving on to our first. So yeah, the Big Bang Theory. Right before everything happened, whatever set the chemistry reaction, that's what I would go to. Renaissance would be cool to watch, but I think I want to see where it all started. All right, we're moving on to our Latina. This is going to be a Latina. Nancy Marie Lopez was born in January 6, 1957. She's a retired American professional golfer. She became a member of the LPGA. And guess what, Mia? She's the first Hispanic woman at the LPGA Tour, which is a golf tournament. Ooh. Very first one ever. What do you think about that? Have you ever golfed?
Really cool. Top golf?
It's hard, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
Even to hit the driver, it's hard.
Yeah, no, I miss the balls all the time, and then whenever I do hit them, it just barely like goes right there, and I get like 0 points.
So I finally went with my brother-in-law and some of his friends to do some golfing, and my first time it wasn't that bad. I did pretty all right. Yeah. Like my first swing was horrible, but after I got the hang of it, and then the second time I went, I was like, I won. I actually beat everybody. I was like, I'm pretty all right with it, but it's hard.
Yeah, no.
It's so hard to do golfing, and it's expensive.
Yes. Oh my gosh, those sticks or the clubs, then you gotta get the bag and the balls, and you lose all the balls, so you gotta buy more balls.
Tell me what the last
the clothes.
Yep. And tell me the last time when we went golfing, we thought we had plenty of balls, but all of a sudden we scavenged it to see. You see a ball over there? Just grab it so we can keep playing because we were running out of balls. We weren't prepared, so it's expensive. So Nancy had to go to, she's Latina. Mm-hmm. She's Mexican. She's from a Mexican background. Her dad owned a car shop. So, they do well, but not well enough because this stuff is expensive and you have to travel and to go different places. And, she started golfing when she was 8 years old. 8 years old is when she began golfing by her father. Her father was the one that pushed her into this and golfing at a very early age, at 8 years old. 8 years old, she as soon as she swung, it was over. It was like she already knew what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's cool. She attended the University of Tulsa in a full scholarship and won 11 out of 19 tournaments there right before she turned pro. So that she was so good that the lady that was running the golf program saw her, and the lady, the way that she describes her is like magic. Like, wow. Like, this is a golf instructor. They know a little bit about golf, right? So all of a sudden, just to watch somebody to do what she did, and she described it as magic.
Natural talent.
Like beyond that, like natural talent is cool, but you're talking about magic. Like, so she was so talented that lady was like, wow, she is good. And she offered her a full scholarship to come play, even though she got too good that she only stayed 2 years and then she became a pro. At one time, she was recognized as the best female golfer in the planet. In the planet. So that's what I'm talking about, the global Latin factor. A Latina, a Mexican, from Mexican parents, working really hard. He owned a mechanic shop, so mechanics do all right, not the greatest, but at the end of the day, he had to put a lot of doors closed on her. A lot of interviews I saw, a lot of doors closed on her. But at the same time, he kept pushing, and before you know it, she became what she was. I mean, she won different awards, all kinds of awards she named, from Golfer of the Decade, by Golf Magazine back in 1978 to 87, to finally making it to the PGA World Golf Fame Hall of Fame in November 1989. So, just overall, the fact that it's hard to play golf, period. And then the fact that she stuck with it. And you know what her dad always used to tell her? Like, just smile. Like, no matter what's going on, just smile. And everybody that saw her, ran into her, all they could remember is a beautiful smile. Because even if she was having not the greatest game, every time you ask, how you doing? I'm great. And you know what? Anytime anybody asks me, for me, like, I don't know how you answer, but for me, I'm always great. And the people be tripping out because it's not okay to say that. People feel like weird to like find you that you're doing all great, Yeah. Like, I'm good, but like, are you really good? And let's say I'm not great, but at the end of the day, if I continue to say that I'm great, I'm gonna be great. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, our words, our things that we say have a lot of power. That even within ourselves, a lot of the times we have to say that to continue to believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or people just say it just because, like, that's just the right thing to say or reply back to. Because you're not going to say, like, oh, I'm doing bad today. And everyone's going to be like, oh, that's weird. Stop talking to me.
But at the end of the day, I agree with you. But to a certain point, if you're not... I have challenges that, like I said before. But at the end of the day, is it okay to lie to people even if you're not like, I'm having a challenging day. Let's say I have a rough day. I'm having a challenging day, but I'll get through it. Wouldn't that be a much better answer? You're not really technically lying.
Yeah, that would be a better answer. But I feel like it's just a habit for people saying, oh, I'm good. Or like, we just have like a mask or we just...
But habits is just things that you just let get out of control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no such thing as good habits. You just literally do things if you want to do something because you wanted to, because you exercise that, whatever it is that you wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times we let it get away because all of a sudden, like you said, it's not. It's just whatever you want it to be. Just like you said, if you put the work, this and that, then it's going to be that, whatever you want it, however you want to make it.
Sure, exactly. What's that saying? Like, it's like 26 days to build a habit and like 90 days to build a lifestyle. Or is it 30?
Somewhere around there. But I don't know. I heard about it. I think it is 20-something days. But at the end of the day, it's a habit. You're still allowing it to get out of not having control of it. You know what I mean? Autopilot is not the way because then you forget that you're right here, right now.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all we have for this global Latin factor, a golfer. So if you're an inspiring golfer, if you ever thought about trying golf, if you have a pulse, then you have a chance. Don't ever feel like it's over. Don't ever feel like it's a done deal. If you have a pulse, if you have blood running through your vein, if you still have a heartbeat, you have an opportunity to give it a shot. And so Mia, it's the first time doing a podcast, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, you took some actions to do certain things, and you intended to do it. Today, you're doing it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people live in that fear that even though it might seem small, and even though they have it in their back of their head to do something, and they do a little bit of steps, a lot of times people don't take the step to do so. All it takes is action.
It's the first step. Like, you have to, even though you say all these things, you do make excuses in your head, but it's you. Like, no one can change yourself. Right. You just have to take the first step in wanting to achieve your goal and just believing that you can do it. And like, if you really want to do something, then you'll like move mountains and like figure everything out, because today was not one of the days, but I still made it here. Like, my car
happened?
My car broke down.
For
like,
real?
I'm being so serious. My car broke down. I had to buy a car part that I didn't even need. I bought a tow to get my car towed to my house all the way out in the country. Wow. And I still made it here somehow because I really wanted to be here. And I was just like, I'm still going to come. Like, I don't care. I'm going to make it here. And I figured everything out because this is really exciting. Like, this is really exciting. And everything's so cool here. Like, all the equipment. And I always visualize myself, like, you dream and visualize and meditate, and I put it out there, and hopefully it's like working out. Like, what are the odds that I met y'all at my job and y'all do this? And it's just so cool. Like, I'm just learning, and this is a really cool experience.
Savor it. Savor the moment, because a lot of the time we forget that we're right here, right now. And then it's good to enjoy it. All right. Well, remember again, we're just like you. We're just the spice in this global melting pot that it is the world. This is the Global Latin Factor Podcast. Until the next one, we see y'all.